All right. Hi, everyone. This is Nick from the podcast Talks with My Dude. I'm Nick, my dude, your host. Today I have Scud. How you doing, Scud?
Skud.
I think that means good. For anyone who doesn't know you, Scud, and for anybody at home, Scud is a player in the Strongest Under the Heavens tournaments for Strive that I talked about a few episodes with Anakin, hosted by John Tider from the first episode of the podcast. So we kind of all know each other from a similar place, but why don't you go and introduce yourself a little bit, Scud?
I'm Skud. I'm a Sin main. I play in the same tournament as Nick, Anakim, and John, a bunch of other people. I mean, that's about it. I play Strive.
Striving for greatness, as they say. You have recently started making some videos and plan to make some more, right?
I have mostly they've just been like guides on how to play Sin, how to counter Sin, and then also the most recent one that I did was frame traps and like extra frame data for Sin for people to watch out for.
Well, that's cool. So Strive related, obviously. But are you planning to continue making videos, or you just kind of want people to be able to fight Sin better so you can fight them better?
I've got I've got two videos in mind right now. First one is the is after John shut me down in one of the tournaments, I got the idea that I need to get better so I can actually beat John and finally actually win one of the tournaments. Since I've gotten so close in pretty much all of the ones that I've competed in. I've gotten so close to actually winning, but I'm always like one or two spots down. I got the idea that I need to hit Celestial again, and I'm turning that into a narrative after I hit Celestial. I have that video that I'm doing where it's like Journey to Celestial type thing, but it's more of a have you seen like MP edits his videos for Destiny?
No, I have not.
It's sort of like a meme heavy like stylized of like just gameplay, no real commentary, but it's memed.
Okay.
That's the style that I'm kind of going for that one. And then also the second video I have a plan on is the all random tournament we did the other night.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch. Everybody playing characters, except for Anakin, but everybody playing characters they weren't used to. It was interesting to watch, to say the least.
It that was gameplay. That was gameplay. I've seen that.
I think it further cemented the fact that Slayer did, in fact, need some sort of nerf because I think every time Slayer showed up, Slayer
Slayer,
won, and it was
yeah,
like
he won every single
new
game that he
player
did.
to Slayer, new players to Slayer, basically.
Yeah.
Just kind of not very hard for them to win.
Yeah, especially because I think the first Slayer matchup in it, I don't remember who played them, but they didn't know how to dandy step or how to pile bunker, and they still just like won 3-0
Yeah, you just kind of push buttons, do big damage, even without knowing the combos or anything like that.
without even knowing the big damage button of pile bunker.
Which is now even a bigger damage button after the patch that comes out tomorrow.
I forgot they kept it the same. They didn't nerf Slayer. They kept him the same.
Well, we can start talking about the patch a little bit. Slayer did get some nerfs. We're not sure exactly by how much. His P Dandy Mappa Hunch is no longer going to be a -1.
Yeah,
So
increased recovery.
you can actually punch out into that now a lot easier.
Well,
Well,
maybe
we
because it
assume
also
it could also be a -2 move instead of a -1.
it also has increased knockback. So you might just get thrown too far for you to 2p him, and then you just get hit by him again.
I think I would still rather that than it be -1 and him in your face.
That's true. -1 essentially made it where you had one frame to beat Slayer.
Might as well grab and hope. I don't even
Couldn't
know if
do
that
it.
would
He would
work.
be no, he'd be mashing 2p probably.
Probably.
That's the most annoying part about fighting Slayers right now is that anytime they're minus, they just mash 2p because it's -1 or 2. They'll just win if you're not frame perfect.
Gotta love it. So, for anybody that isn't aware, as of recording, tomorrow, October 31st, there's going to be a balance update to Strive, and they're going to be changing a lot of characters. Everybody's getting some sort of changes. Some are more significant than others. Like, your main Sin is getting quite a bit of rework. And I know you're really, really, really excited to give some of those new things a whirl.
I I'm really excited for the combos that Sin could do with it because now before Sin, all of Sin's like specials would end up like killing the combo after them. If you used except for Hoof Stomp, but Hoof Stomp was special. Hoof Stomp and Hawkbaker. But if you use the follow up to any of them, it would end the combo right there, except for Hawkbaker. But now with the new changes, Sin can continue a combo if you do the follow up by just spending another bar of stamina for Gazelle, and then because they're in a tumble state, then you should be able to just hit them back up into another combo.
You'll see character privilege, I'm telling you.
Right.
And
But I
then I
mean,
know.
there's. Go
Oh,
ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I
You
was
know
gonna
Sin
say
way better than me.
there's some. I was gonna say like there's some DLC characters that haven't gotten touched too much. Like Bridget, a friend and I were talking about Bridget. Where Bridget to them, Bridget just kind of feels bad, especially with the defense in which Bridget got, I think, only 20 more health, whereas Sin got about 60 more effective HP, which is insane.
Yeah, that is actually kind of a big big change.
Yeah, Sin is like he's about middle of the patch for middle of the path for highest health, but still a lot bigger than I'd think he'd be.
Yeah. I think we kind of talked about it beforehand, but I am not a huge fan of how some of his changes have been made, giving him guard crush on, if not all of his specials, it's most of them now. Kind of just turns him into from like this really cool combo heavy, trying to mix you character that you can find holes to punch out of, to now you're just kind of like waiting for the combo to be over because you
Right.
can't mash out anymore.
It makes it like from the Sin player's perspective, theoretically, it's a lot better. Just because you have your guard crushing more often, which means that you just keep getting your turn. Which that sounds like a buff for Sin, but it kind of hurts a lot of Sin's mix because if you ever elk hunted and the elk hunt follow up, that'll guard crush. And sometimes that's a knowledge check where the opponent might try to DP out of it, or they might try to mash their way out of it, or they might it leaves another guessing game. It lets Sin use a gazelle step to continue his pressure to either like close slash to stop you from mashing, pause for a second to grab you, go for a low, or go for a hoof stomp. It was a lot of mix that Sin could do, but with everything guard crushing, Elk Hunt's guard crush no longer gives that opportunity. I mean, technically they all do, but at the same time, because they all do it, it really homogenizes Sin's mix game. It makes it feel a little bit less unique as a character and for his special moves, which already a character who has three unique special moves and then a DP and then an ability that we will never talk about.
Still growing.
Uh, it's so bad.
Like I said, it's just from your perspective, it does seem like it makes it a bit more. I don't want to say boring, but definitely not as unique. And then from somebody who has to block the normal mix, I just feel like my options are burst or block the whole time. There's no like, for anybody at home who doesn't know, guard crush is like you get hit and it breaks your guard. It's in the name.
Yeah,
And,
and
and,
then
and whoever
Sin.
guard crushes is usually like extremely plus, which means that they're very safe to continue their combo strings or whatever, and you just can't mash out.
Yeah, I basically if I guard crush you, I can just walk back up to you freely and then continue to take my turn to hit you, while you just have to sit there and wait for me to be tired of hitting you, which is where the stamina changes are supposed to come in. But I don't know how what the stamina changes are at the moment, just because we don't have numbers yet. But
Exactly.
I'm imagining they can't be too big of a nerf, otherwise Sin just kind of doesn't get his turn in general.
It's
But
a fine balance because if they make it come back too quickly, the other player is going to always be in this state of guard crush because they can't get out. Or if they take it too long to get back, if Sin doesn't kill you on that first combo, he just kind of
yeah,
doesn't do
he then
anything.
it's his turn to block for 30 seconds in the corner, which I still don't know why they gave him guard crush because that's not fun for anyone. As the Sin, if you're blocking me for 30 seconds in the corner, that just feels frustrating because I'm hitting you with as much mix as possible and I'm not breaking through. That's annoying because I'm doing everything I can. It's not working, and it's annoying as the person who's blocking the whole time because you're sitting there blocking for 30 seconds with nothing you can do.
Yeah, I have to hope that you throw out like a 2P or a 6P or something, and I catch that right window to mash out. But otherwise, because you can't swing on his specials anymore because they're all plus. They're all going to be plus
Right.
and
And that,
not a good feeling.
which I was talking about, I think either earlier this morning or last night, that what they could have done is they could kind of heavily nerf his stamina regeneration and then make still growing have him regenerate stamina. That way, on guard crush, he can use still growing to regain stamina, and it becomes another form of mix. Is the
Yeah,
Sin
I
going
think
to go for a still growing, or is he going to continue pressure?
yeah, I think that that's just better. I don't know. I feel like that it seems better, but there's obviously some reason they went with what they have. I guess to get a full understanding, obviously we'll have to wait for the patch notes. But just on reading it, I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't think it's the worst change that they've made, or like the worst thing they could have done. I'm not dooming over it. I'm just I don't know. There was more creative stuff they could have done other than just saying Cena is now the guard crush character with his mix. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what he could do in combos, but against a blocking opponent, I think Sin is going to be a very obnoxious character to fight. And then even if Sin runs out of stamina and then he goes into a fight, most Sin players have very good ways of playing the character without stamina, or like being able to use like one stamina combos to keep themselves safe, or be able to maintain pressure outside of where they're comfortable. So I don't have to hit you with as much as I can in the books in order for me to get a combo off. I can bounce you off the ground and then continue with normals and just push you to the wall.
Yeah. It's not that he's terrible without his stamina, but obviously he's much stronger with it. I don't know. It's just it's an interesting design choice. Speaking of the patch notes, Giovanna, my character, the one I play a lot, got some changes, and I think it's gonna make a couple of matchups in the server very funny. Sin being one of them, and Abba being the other. Because now at full tension, Giovanna's even faster. Even at half tension, she's faster. But at full tension, she's supposed to be like, I don't want to say significantly because we don't have the numbers, but it's supposed to be fast enough that it's noticeable, which is interesting because I've already got a reputation of being very good at grabbing people with just by dashing at people. So if I can do it from farther away, that could be very interesting. Are you excited? Are you excited for me to gain the ability to instantly teleport to your face
I'm
from further away than I already could?
I'm worried. The Shave change is very nice. The power up attack versions of your attacks though is a little concerning, especially the powered up Travail.
So the Travail change, it's interesting because on one hand, I think Guard Crush Travail was the best, like arguably the best move in her entire kit. Kit being moveset, but also it did let me skip neutral sometimes. It made my Oki really easy because I just had to throw that out, and if you didn't have if you didn't get your reversal off, whether it be super or Dragon Punch or DP as we've been calling it, I just sort of got to do whatever I wanted for a while, and it was not a hard thing to pull off because it was auto timed to your wake up. But now they've made the move faster, it recovers faster, and unless you flawless defense or FD to push me away, I land in close slash range, which for Giovanna is really good.
Yeah, I mean, at the same
Assuming I'm
time,
reading it right. Assuming I'm reading it right, because that's what it reads and sounds like is what they're intending.
it is a setup. You have to, it's a set play. You have to use Shave in order to use it, and you have to use Travail pretty much immediately after it, right? You can't hold on to a Shave.
You can do you can do it like right away. There is a slight delay that you can do with the Chave and still get it, but the timing is just a little weird because it
Right.
adds there's 15 frames that Chave adds to start up, and then it's a 30 frame move. So theoretically, you could delay the Travail by up to 29 frames. So theoretically, would you want to do that? Probably not, but I mean, you could. Usually, you just kind of shove into Travail as soon as you can. So the auto time wake up stuff is going to be a little different, especially with Travail being faster, like in the air, which I'm excited to test out. The other thing that I've not been highlighting as heavily in the in the fighting game general chat is all of Giovanna's specials get a higher percentage damage buff from tension.
Right, I saw that damage also increased as well as your speed with that.
Now I don't know if that means it's going to still stay like in line with how many it does now, or if it's going to do more. That I'm not sure.
I think it's gonna do more.
I think it's going to do more, but we'll have to. That's kind of a wait and see because we don't have the numbers. You just know we. I just know that it's going to do more damage, but even a 5% increase is a lot. And
Especially with your chip, with you constantly chipping.
yeah, once I start chipping, and I mean the increased damage is only on my specials, not my normals. I think that actually have I not been telling people the truth about that? That is something I should pull up right now.
I was about to say, let's go to Dust Loop.
I'm pulling it up right now.
I like how every
Okay.
Dust Loop page also says that the contents of this page are out of date.
Yeah. All right. So every normal attack does 12% chip at half and then 25 at full. So I'm assuming that means the my chip damage at half is going to go up and my chip damage at full is going to go up. That's terrifying for everyone else.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm glad they're putting Giovanna in a direction though.
Oh, well, oh, so that's the chip damage. If the chip damage might stay the same. The approximate change in damage is plus 5% at half tension, and plus
Plus 10 at
10%.
full. I
So if
imagine it'll
those
go
numbers go
something
up,
like maybe something maybe like 7 and 14 or 7 and 15 maybe.
just make it 10 and 15. Just make everyone else's life suck.
Oh no. No, no,
Oh
no.
no, 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 no.
I'm fine with 100% tension getting a 5% damage increase because getting 100% tension and keeping it for some reason, you should definitely be rewarded for Giovanna because that's her whole thing. But maybe not 5% for having 50 tension that you can get 10 seconds off round start.
Oh well, I'm just gonna become really good at gold bursting.
Oh no.
Yes, yes, yes. I am excited to see. So like a lot of the changes I think are very good and will make the games last a little longer, which is kind of what I've been bemoaning about Strive. Is that
Yeah.
defense kind of felt unrewarding. Like I could block your whole string, but you would do enough chip damage even if I was trying to flawless defense the best I could. That like and like if I messed up once and I went through the wall, like I would be at like half health or less, and you would have positive bonus. And assuming I use my burst, like I would be you would just be so far behind that
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
glad the
that
damage is being.
that and if you defend against somebody like their whole combo, you get through every mix, you get through every high low, you get through every 50-50. Pretty
You sh-
much most combos will end on something that's not very minus. And so the person will either not have the opportunity to punish, like the defender won't have the opportunity to punish the attacker, and so it'll just reset back to neutral, pretty much.
that's the big issue is there's not enough of a reward for blocking out
Like,
really
yeah,
well.
like sure the offender used all the like character resources, used all their meter to hit you. You also used all of your meter because you weren't attacking them, so you weren't gaining very much tension, and you used all your tension for faultless defense to not get chipped to death.
Yeah, depending on who you're fighting. Also to point out, the Giovanna's defense rating normally is a 1.03. They changed it to a 0.98, and then
Yeah, everyone got health
uh,
buffs.
I'm wondering how if they change the values for half tension, full tension defense rating improvements for Giovanna, because now it's 0.98 is where she starts, where she used to be at 1.03, and at half tension it went down to 0.97, but now she's at 0.98 to start. It would feel really lame to get zero point 0.01 bonus defense rating, but we'll
Let's
see.
see. What is Giovanna's defense? Damage received 1.03. And then on the chart, where's Geo? Goes to 0.98.
That's the new starting point.
Yeah.
But her tension
Although,
changes changed her defense rating
oh,
more.
right, right.
So I want to see what that does.
I
Because
don't
like I
think it's
said,
gonna get changed.
it would feel really sad to go from 0.98 to 0.97 for half tension, but I don't know. Maybe it's more fair because she gets a speed boost now.
I don't think they'll affect her defense value with detention because it doesn't say it.
No, that's part of her unique mechanic. The meter boost. That's like a thing.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you were saying like that also like you were hoping that that also got changed. Okay, you're talking about what it's gonna change now, like if it goes from its point nine
Yeah,
eight from now to like point 0.9. Okay, gotcha.
yeah, like because it went down by 0.05. So am I gonna go from 0.98 to 0.93, or am I gonna do something else? Or is it gonna be like 0.98 to 0.94? I mean 0.95 or something? I don't know.
It is a good question.
That isn't mentioned anywhere in the patch notes as far as I'm aware. So I'm very interested to see how actually tanky Giovanna gets. Because if it's significant, uh, that would be nice. Because she's already gonna be taking less damage.
It should be pretty significant. I mean, they gave Sin an extra 60 health.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
Couldn't tell you why,
I,
but
I don't know if they changed Giovanna's health difference. Oh yeah, they did. They gave her
yeah,
25.7 more health. Who got the most health besides Sin? 60 for Sin, 60 for Potemkin.
Edman got 90. It looks like
Asuka got 0.
Slayer
They
lost one.
one. He lost 1 effective HP. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I guess it's Bedman gaining 90.
Yeah, looks like it.
Which, I mean, honestly, I don't know why he wasn't already up there.
I don't know either. Speaking again of Slayer, and we talked about wanting to nerf Slayer. I spoke something into existence. I got hit with a super Mappa hunch one time, and I was definitely close enough to grab him. And I told John, who main Slayer, I was like, "Man, I can't. Well, you know how cool it would be if I could grab you out of this super." So I have willed that to existence.
The monkey paw curled.
Yeah, they're like, "Okay, you can grab Slayer, but you're also faster," which is very funny.
Yeah, the Slayer changes are they're good. I do like how Slayer isn't like the moment he gets 50% tension, you just can't do anything to him anymore. That's good.
That's good. I like the changes on paper. Obviously, we'll need to see the numbers and how it actually plays. Because if they're like, oh, well, we increased the recovery and the pushback, well, what's the recovery still -3 on Punch Mappa?
Yeah,
Like
P Mappa.
that's the or yeah P Mappa. That would be my concern. I don't think that's gonna happen considering how much they changed some other people's moves, but we'll see.
Yeah, what I'm just the biggest fan for is the P Mappa nerf, obviously. That's great, but it's the crouching heavy slash got a increased recovery, which should be good because pretty much he would Slayer would just use that if you were kind of in distance of it and hope that you would extend your hurt box out into it, and then you couldn't do anything to him after it because any attack that you'd throw to hit him, you'd have to get close enough. By the time you ran up to him, he'd already recovered. Or if you were already close enough, you'd throw an attack, but then he could just cancel it into a Mappa. So you get counter hit,
But
which you could probably still do it, but we'll
mhm.
see.
I think that the changes that were made to Slayer are definitely going to make him, at least on paper, feel less grimy to fight because he's going to be able to get away with a little less based off what I can read on paper. So, are you planning to play Dizzy when she comes out tomorrow?
Oh, I forgot. Dizzy's also getting released with all of this.
Yeah,
Oh, there's
Dizzy's
so
out.
much. Maybe.
Maybe.
Uh, I I've kind of toyed around with pretty much every character that's been released since I started playing Sin. Yeah, so when Sin then Bedman, I played with Bedman and day one for a little bit. I never played him in any actual games. I just labbed him out to see what silly combos I could come up with.
Yeah, that makes
Same
sense.
thing. Same thing with Johnny. I didn't do it with Elfelt though. Johnny, I did it with Slayer because I was really looking forward to Slayer.
And then
But
you're like,
then,
oh no, this feels
yeah, I saw
gross.
the damage and I was like, yeah, well, I mean, surely in game, like he's not going to be that strong, right? And I played him for a little bit and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll play Sin. I'll let people figure out like the Slayer tech for a while. I've gotten all my like my set plays done with him. I'll let people figure him out and I can pick up after them. And then people figured out Slayer and I said, oh, I'm gonna stick with Sin because I do not want to play that, but it's that strong.
It sucks too because he's really cool.
Yeah, and
Like
now
his
Slayer
design,
will
his
just
music.
oh, I love Slayer. I mean, Strive's my first Guilty Gear game, but like learning the lore of the whole world and everything. Sin and Slayer are my two favorites.
Yeah.
And now Slayer leaves a bad taste in my mouth for the rest of this game's life, probably.
Well, the good news is that he hopefully should feel better to fight to fight against, but also to play. And I'm excited to just kind of see what it's like to play him because I think I'm actually gonna pick him up finally. I wasn't planning to because I if when I play a character, I don't like feeling like my character has either A, an unfair advantage, or B, plays for me. And while people who are technically sound are very good at Slayer, like John is not a bad player. He can beat me on any character. It just feels worse when he's playing a character that does a 3-hit combo that's auto timed that does like 40% of my health.
Yeah,
It's what two? It's like his 2H close slash pile bunker or something, and it does like a huge chunk of my health.
yeah. If you can catch somebody with a 2H counter hit, which is pretty often a Slayer, 2H close slash, then like 6H for higher damage into Dandy Pile Bunker. And then if you have meter, red RC, 2S, Pile Bunker, 2S, Pile Bunker.
Yes, yeah, it's
And then
it's a little ridiculous.
I think you could do another no, you might have to 2H that. Anyway, Pile Bunker loops are weird. I don't know
Yeah,
them yet, but
and the pile bunker loops are not easy. Like you're not gonna just pick them up and be able to do them really quickly.
oh yeah, don't
It's
get me wrong. Like it's Pile Bunker loops are insanely frustrating to get hit by. They're not easy though. Like they take a long time in the lab to actually figure out the timings for and to get the timing down. But for 70% of my health,
I mean the biggest issue is that he does so much off of like so little. To where like somebody
yeah.
who isn't quite as technically sound at the game as you could beat you if you made like two two mistakes and they weren't even doing like full combo. Because like
Yeah, and
Sin will kill you off if you make two mistakes, but you also have to do like a 10-hit combo, or I'm not gonna die.
yeah, the Sin can do a lot of damage. I think like without risk buildup, Sin can do about 65% of your health in one combo, but that is the optimal Sin combo, which admittedly isn't too difficult to really get down, but it's still like kind of situational because most of Sin's attacks will mostly go into like a close slash into a 2H or a 5H if you want to go for a frame trap. But if you get a most of the time you're not going to be able to react on a counter hit in order for you to go, oh, it's time for me to do my optimal combo.
Yeah, it's just because Slayer 2H does everything. It sets you up perfectly for his moves, which is like makes sense, but it was a little too much, I think, and I think it is getting toned down a little, which is good. Also, he's no longer fifth most health in the game, effective health in the game, which will make fighting him feel also a lot better because now you don't have to be right 4 times, not including optimal combos. You have to be right like maybe 2 or 3.
Right. That was also one of the most frustrating parts about fighting Slayer is that he could 3 combo you after you use your burst.
So I mean, the health change is going to be good. There's a lot of good changes in that matchup specifically. I think I think everybody's getting good changes. I think we're focusing a lot on Slayer because since he's come out, for anybody who doesn't know, he's had a positive win rate against the majority of characters across all skill levels. Like this is data we have. However, there's another character that also has that got buffs, and I don't think got any nerfs, and that's Abba. Have you seen Abba's win rates? It's
I
not
I haven't
as
seen Abba.
it's not as plus like or not as positive in a lot of the matchups as Slayer because Slayer has a lot more positive. Like if Abba's win rate's 53, Slayer's like 56. Like Slayer wins a little bit more.
Yeah, I haven't seen like the numbers for Abba, but I also know that Abba is also ridiculous.
Yeah, Abba is very oppressive and does a lot of damage and gets away with a lot. They are hitting Abba not transformed, so her base state. I don't know how significantly. I haven't talked to Anakim about Abba much, other than the fact that Donzai got better. But I think they're
I
doing
got better.
yes. Donzai now can do combo off of a normal hit or counter. Before you couldn't combo off of Donzai easily. I think you needed a counter hit. Now I think you don't, but not I'm not 100% positive on that one. I know that it's something similar to that they changed. I'm interested to see how Dizzy's ice field, and for anybody who hasn't watched the Dizzy reveal or gameplay overview, she can turn the stage floor into ice, and it causes people to slip and slide around a little bit. So you keep your momentum just a little bit like you're on ice. And when Giovanna does a normal out of her step dash, she keeps the momentum. So you'll slide forward a little bit doing the move. So if what a lot of people are thinking is correct, I can do my step dash, cancel into any of my moves, and just kind of go like across the screen because I'll just carry a lot of momentum.
Speaking of a lot of momentum, I forgot one of the Sin changes was that his beak driver follow up will maintain momentum. So the beak driver is the long stab with the flag, and then that he follows up like dashing very quickly to it. Uh, will maintain momentum. So Sins will have a funny tech that they might be able to pull off, or if they PRC right there, they can just go flying across the screen.
That's hilarious.
I think that might be the first thing I try.
So I'm curious to see how the Dizzy Ice goes. I'm really thinking about picking up Dizzy, because I like Dizzy's design, and Mikhail's sword looks really funny. Have you seen how much chip damage it does? The
I
heavy
haven't
slash
seen
version.
chip damage. No,
Oh, the heavy slash chip damage is it's kind of gross.
let me pull this up real quick.
Yeah,
I also love how it's just called Mikhail Sword. I'm never gonna call it that. I'm just gonna call it Michael Sword because I think that's funnier.
Michael sword, the blue lightsaber. The good news is the slash version, the quick, the smaller version is I don't know how minus, but it is minus on block because every time in the video they used it, whoever they were using it on, if they blocked it, was able to swing out or get away or like move. So it wasn't like you were stuck. Also, Dizzy has the same guts rating as Anji, which
I would
means
say I think it's because she's a gear, but and well, I mean Sin also has really high guts rating for some reason.
so Dizzy gets this really cool sword thing. It also guard crushes and does chip damage. It's pretty cool, I guess. But the fact that her guts rating is the same as Anji's is probably going to be really frustrating.
Wow, Michael Sword does do a lot of
It
damage.
does a lot of damage.
I haven't seen its chip damage yet, but
If you're watching watch the gameplay overview where they're showing off the moves
yeah.
when she's fighting the elf out. That's when you'll see it. There's a lot of chip. I'll get a picture of what the chip damage looks like
Oh,
for the video.
oh, goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
I told you.
That is a Slayer, like that is a pile bunker on a non-shielded Oscar amount of chip.
It's a lot. So I am concerned about that, but I think
Watching this, she does a lot of damage just in general.
yeah, she does a lot of damage just in general. I think that I am not concerned about the Wings of Light, I think it's called. The down down heavy slash. Wait 10
Yeah,
seconds.
I think Wings of Light are a meme, like, to be concerned about.
I think the only reason you should be concerned about that is if you're like if you're playing like frankly Potemkin and you're full screen, you have ways to get to the dizzy, but they're not going to be fun. It's gonna be annoying. And then depending on how Wings of Light interacts with grabs, like is it turn off the instant you're grabbed or when the damage from the grab happens? Because you could theoretically get grabbed in Potemkin Buster and lose
That
70% of your
is
HP.
that is really funny to think about, actually. I don't know which one I think would
Could
be better.
you imagine getting caught in a Heavenly Pot Buster? You just come back, Dizzy
Yeah,
lives, you're at
and you
1 HP.
kill Potemkin in the middle of it.
You just fall back to the ground dead. Yeah,
Or, like, during a last horizon, a Slayer finally gets it. It's his win condition. Kill him.
yeah. I don't know if it can kill, but it doesn't matter because it drops your health so low. But I do think I think of her kit, it's probably one of the things I'm the least worried about because it takes so long to turn on.
Yeah, I don't think it can. I don't think I can kill. I mean, it's not so much about the how long it takes for it to turn on. I think for me, the scary or
Is if you're
the
in the
least concerning
corner
part of it,
is the
the
scariest part.
least, yeah, that too. But like the least concerning part of it is the amount of tension it uses.
Oh yeah, it
I
uses
think
so much tension so
I
fast.
think Dizzy as a character is going to be eating so many PRCs to try to keep herself safe because she can do a lot to keep her safe in zone, but like Testament, you'll get in at some point. I think she's gonna play similar to Testament.
It'll be interesting to see because Testament has a lot of really weird buttons, like her normals to keep you out. From what I've seen, Dizzy's normals are shorter range than Testament's. So I don't know if that means she's better at keeping you, like, if you get in, like, fighting you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I am interested to see. Like I said, I'll probably be picking up the character. I will not be playing that character in bracket for a long time, if ever, because I want to play Geo on Saturday. I want people to have to deal with that, since my character overall probably plays the closest to the same.
oh, and then we have a bracket on Saturday with the new changes.
Yeah,
Oh goodness.
Geo Gang rise up. It's gonna be really funny on Saturday if John plays Slayer. He might play Johnny. Johnny's getting a crazy buff. But if he plays Slayer and he forgets that his super Mappa Hunch isn't invincible anymore, and he just gets grabbed out of it because you can do that now. If he does it from too close, you just press the grab button and it is now your turn, and he loses the meter.
Yeah. I mean, Johnny didn't really get touched. He beats projectiles, and I have no stance in that because I do not throw projectiles.
Yeah,
I have
I mean that's
no
fair. I
idea
don't
how
either.
big that'll be.
It's pretty big because I don't know if you watched the fight with that little display with Testament.
I did see the display. I think that's just cool more than anything because
It's
from the
cool,
looks of it,
but
it's clashed. So as far as I think, it resets them both back to neutral. So they can just keep range fighting all day.
it was just funny to watch. It was projectile, clash. Johnny throws card, and it was over.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny continues to be the trend of the coolest character in Strive or in Guilty Gear. He's just so cool.
I'm pretty sure Johnny is just Daisuke, but in Guilty Gear.
Soulless Daisuke.
Well, yeah, yeah. But Johnny was top one in Exard,
Yeah, the illusion of choice.
the illusion of choice, and now we're playing Rev 3 eventually on Strive,
They
and
are,
Johnny
yeah,
top one.
they are getting him closer to what he was in Xrd.
I think according to people who have played Exard and like the older Strive games, they're getting Strive closer to what Guilty Gear used to be.
That's
Like
what I've been hearing.
that's what I've been hearing. And if true, we have got to I got to tip my hat to Arxis. That is like the biggest brain way to get more people to play your fighting game ever. Because
I
Strive is very accessible. It's a lot of fun. It's really cool.
oh, it's yeah, Strive is gorgeous.
So if they slowly turn it into basically into Exard, which had quote unquote bigger skill gap, that will be really really cool to see actually. Because more people will stay. More people will be playing it.
Yeah, I
compared
need
to if
to
they had launched it that way, as I
I
should say.
I need to pick up Xrd, even if it's just for training mode, because I really want to test out what Xrd Sin was like. Because I've seen some gameplay that looks so fun to pull off. I'm disappointed Sin didn't get a new move from Xrd like Bull Bash or Vulture Seize. I think Vulture Seize would be the most fun, which was like an air only attack. It's sort of like a pseudo DP, like an air like same sort of hitbox that Sin's grounded DP has in Strive, but only in air. And I think there's so many cool potential to do stuff with that.
The only thing I don't like, I have Exard. I've played through a little bit of the tutorial. The only thing I don't like is there's no dash button, but that's just because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to double tap my arcade fight stick forward twice.
Feel that?
I'm just
I
I'm
mean,
just I'm just lazy. I just
that,
don't wanna.
that's entirely why I mapped dash to a button for I
Me
press
too.
down the left joystick because I play on just like a regular Xbox controller.
See, I did that and they called me a madman.
Works.
L-
I don't know what to
I,
tell you.
I am. This is. I'm gonna clip this out for the fighting game general after this video goes live. I'll post it there. L3 dash is the way if you're on controller.
L3 dash, hell yeah! I use that. That's where my Karas are. That's how I use Karas for Sin supers in the middle of a combo.
Yeah, and they called me a madman. To be fair, I dash a lot more as Geo than I think other characters.
Even with that, you saw the like the all random how I was playing with Soul, I was running in, dashing back, and just kept doing that.
Yeah, I saw that. I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, vindication. I'm not insane.
I do think maybe you might want to know a different button if you're playing someone like Slayer, where you're constantly trying to cross up with it. But that's mostly because I don't want to have to flick my thumb left and right constantly while also pressing the dash key. With Giovanna, it's a little different because can Giovanna's dash cross up?
No, but you do use it
Yeah,
a lot. Like a lot. Like a lot. Oh,
I
I can't wait
would.
for that speed boost. I really hope I can whiff punish more. Oh, you guys are so in trouble if I can.
I can't wait for the not even just the half screen, but the full screen 2D.
Yeah. It's that gif of that guy just sliding forward with his hand out. Just
Pretty much.
5H is now is like an insanely good poke. Like it was really good before, but it's really good now because it's disjoint and I just come flying in.
Let's see, what's your 5H again?
It's that standing single kick that gets like the what's it called, sound barrier break around it.
Oh, it's that one. Okay, that's a good disjoint on it too.
Yep. And now I can slide further and hit you with
Uh,
it. uh,
I'm looking forward to the next patch. It's gonna be insane.
I'm very excited to try it out. I was tempted to work really hard today at work so I could call out, and I was like, nah, I can just play in training mode while I'm at work.
I I have school tomorrow. I can't. I'm not gonna be able to miss that one. And then when I get home from that, I will finally be able to test it out. Although
Yeah.
I am planning on waking up very early in the morning so I can
You'll be
play
the
it.
first one
I was like,
in the
yeah,
server.
pretty much like maybe like 9 or 10 hours from now, waking up.
I've got a I already scheduled rifle as my first match on the new patch once we're both available because I don't know. The joke that Anakin made is that we're rifle and I are Obi-Wan and Anakin or Goku and Vegeta. We're not sure who's who. It usually switches, but
That's how you know you have a great rivalry.
yeah, it goes really back and forth. It used to be like rifle would just beat me like, 10-3, and now it's mostly even or slightly me favored.
Yeah, both of you have gotten really, really good.
I need to I need to be working on my Roman cancels more.
Yeah, but you also have an excuse not to since it's Giovanna's gimmick.
now, now I'm like now it's even more like, ooh, do I just want to be fast as fuck or do I want to RC somebody? I guess
Learn the Romans, but maybe don't use all of them.
yeah. I mean, I know where I can Roman cancel. Like if I Roman cancel a grab, I can do 5k jump slash jump H jump dust and just carry you to the wall. But The mental damage of being thrown to the floor is so good. Actually, those are actually a couple questions I wanted to ask you. We're running out of time, so I'm gonna try to. These are gonna be a little bit more structured. Is
Gotcha.
so you said Guilty Gear is your first Strive game? Is it or Strive is your first Guilty Gear game? Is it your first fighting game, or have you been like a fighting game player for a while?
It is my first like actual fighting game. I played like Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and 11 as a kid, like not actually knowing what anything does.
Just hitting
Pressing
buttons.
special, yeah, hitting buttons, pressing specials every once in a while, and just letting uppercut throughout those games just carried me throughout the story mode, and then never touching online.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I haven't played like any other types of fighter games. I mean, I've kind of played Super Smash, like maybe like 3 or 4 times at a friend's house.
I think a lot of people have just played Smash. Like
Yeah,
they've done something on it before.
I've picked a character. Yeah, and then when Multiverses came out, I played that a little bit. Realized I'm like, hey, I kind of like competitive fighting games, but I'm not too big a fan of platform fighters. And then I played Devil May Cry, and I was like, okay, I need to find a fighting game that gets me like do heavy combos. And then I found Strive.
What a journey. Devil May Cry to Strive. I mean, that seems like a pretty good way to transition because they're both very
Yeah,
over the top and look really good.
yeah. I mean, even though Devil May Cry is not a fighting game, but it had big combos, and I thought I need to play a fighting game with big combos.
Exactly. And then you found Sinkisuke and was like,
Sin
"This is it.
Kisk. Yeah,
This is me."
I liked Sin in the lore, and then I heard that he was coming to Strive, and I was like, okay, I have to play him. He also has big combos that are flashy. Hell yeah.
Yeah, he looks so sick. All right, so next question is somewhat related. So Strive is your first fighting game that you also wanted to be like competitive in. Is that's what you said, right? I'm just making sure I
Yeah,
understand.
Strive. Yeah, yeah.
So how long have you been playing Strive?
I
Because
played
I don't know
Strive.
when Sin came out, or I don't know the timelines very well, other than it came out like 3 years ago or something.
I played Strive at around the time Bridget came out, but like completely unrelated to like the Strive fever that came over a bunch of people when Bridget came out. Bridget got a lot of people into Strive, but it was around that time that I saw Hotashi play for Moist Critical. I saw it through him, and I saw Hotashi play, and I thought, oh, Naga looks cool. And
Those look cool.
yeah, it was around that time that I decided that that Strive should be the game that I get into.
Okay,
Bridget is season 2.
season two.
Yeah, I think she was the first character of season 2. It's August 9th of 2022.
Okay, so about 2 years.
I've been playing for 2 years. Oh,
Time
I
flies when you're
thought
having fun.
I thought it's been like a year maybe.
2 years of having fun sinning. 2 years of sinning. Let's go.
I'm such a sinner.
Yeah, I started. So Strive is my first fighting game to actually play and like learn. I played a little bit of Soul Calibur, and I played a little bit of Budokai Tenkaichi like years and years ago. So this is the first fighting game I didn't even know what the notations meant. I didn't know what 6P was.
Oh, learning the notations was a journey.
It was my there's a video out there. It's on YouTube. I could go find it. It's been linked to me before. I could go find it. Of my first game ever of Strive is fighting John on Johnny. And I didn't have a dash button. I didn't know how to dash. I didn't know how to burst. I barely knew how to throw any punches. I didn't know what the grab button was. It was pretty insane. And then I didn't play for a couple weeks, and I decided to finally decided to play. And the first thing I did was talk to, at the time, tournament winning Anakin and say, "Hey, can you teach me how to play?" And fought Anakin for 40 hours my first week.
I remember that story. I think I also remember you like just starting to play Strive. And I remember I thinking to myself like, oh, I hope he really likes it. I hope he picks up the game and we have someone new to also like who wants to join the tournament and play competitively. and then you played against John, and then you stopped playing for a while. I was like, oh, he got put off from the game.
And I showed back up, and Anakin was like, "Yeah, I played Nick for like 400 matches this last week," and everybody else put that away mentally, like, "Oh, that could be a problem later."
Right, and now you run up and grab anyone you want.
And now I get to make jokes that Geo doesn't have a command grab, but everybody swears that she does, which is the greatest thing ever. I've been asked more than once if Geo has a command grab.
You would think she should, considering like how like grab heavy she is.
I don't even think she's that grab heavy. I just think I grab you a lot.
Well, a lot of Geos that I faced are like grab centric. They really like grabbing.
Well, it's the strike throw, right? It's
Yeah,
a
strike
great
throw
way.
mids.
It's a great way
You know
to
what?
set that up.
That's fair. Kai also grabs a lot. And he doesn't have a command grab.
So, how excited are you for the rest of season 2 of the grids Strongest into the Heavens? Now that there's like
I
these
am
changes coming in, round like the patch rounds should be longer, more comeback potential and stuff like that. How are you?
with those changes. I mean, I'm nervous about this upcoming one just because of how huge the changes are, and I don't know how well I'll perform. I'm not entirely sure because it's like how some people have kind of said the bracket's kind of getting it's kind of running away from a lot of the contenders where there's only like a small handful that will always reach the top every single time. And I think because of that, I've kind of started to take it a little bit less competitively.
I think Darkstrider, Anakim, John, Bren, Ashen. I mean, you're usually up there, so
Yeah, I'm usually there, but it's I'm kind of I'm like season one. I was very locked in, like competitive the whole time, and it's what motivated me to get as good as I am now and like learn all those things. That's why I started making those videos. Was like alternate said in chat one time after I beat him is like he wishes that he could like learn what to do against Sin. And I was typing out some examples before I realized that telling him, "Oh yeah, just press on elk hunt," would get him countered. He needs to see when. So I thought, "Oh, I'll make like a small clip to do it." And then I was like, "Well, there's more things than just elk hunt."
yeah.
And it evolved in making the video. And then I remember you said something like you wish you could know when to mash, and that's when I made the last one that I just made.
Which is a very good video, by the way. Is it on? Is it public or is it unlisted?
It's unlisted. I think once I release one of the two videos that I'm currently working on, I'll probably make that one go public. I don't know about the first two. I'd have to actually check them for how accurate their
Accurate.
information is
Yeah, yeah. I got you. I got you.
because I was not I wasn't as good as I am now on those ones, and some of the things I could have said are just wrong or could have been said a lot better.
Or they were right, but they're wrong now.
They're wrong now. They're definitely going to be wrong tomorrow.
Yeah, they're wrong tomorrow for sure. But yeah, okay. I think you do a good job of approach for that. I can understand what you mean about wanting to be competitive and it like sucking that like and taking nothing away from the people who are constantly at the top. But it is kind of frustrating to not be there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking it a little bit less competitively now, just because I know I've fought everyone here at this point. I don't think I have anything left to prove, versus before where I was like I have to win this to say like I am good at this game. I am good at Strive. I think I just have less to prove now because I think everyone knows that I'm pretty good. I'm not the greatest. I'm not bad. I'm not the best, but I can hold my own against some of the better players in this server. So
Mhm.
I'm
I
happy
think
with that.
I think it's fair to keep in mind and to say that on any given day, I think you could win the bracket. Sometimes it's just been unfortunate for you. Like things have happened that have kept you from winning. Maybe it's like a matchup knowledge you weren't aware of, or fucking
John.
Slayer, or a fucking Slayer. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody thinks that you. I don't think you need to prove that you can win a tournament. But I can see. I understand kind of what you mean. But I think you can, and I think that striving to win one is a good goal. I want to win one eventually. It should take me a little longer, I think, than you, unfortunately for me. But I also have a year and a half handicap. in terms
Right, yeah.
of game knowledge. But for having
Yeah.
that much of a gap, I think I'm closing it rather quickly
Oh, you
overall.
absolutely are.
I don't know. I was really frustrated with it last week, losing the way I did, and the fact that it was the last time that we'd be playing on that patch in bracket. I wanted to go further on that version of Giovanna, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
I've been practicing, so
I definitely think like you're definitely very good. I fought some Celestial Giovannas that have like played a very similar way that you do.
Anakin still thinks I have a weird playstyle on Giovanna.
I mean, it's a little weird, but like every character has just a little bit of skill expression. I think Sin's one of the more unique characters that has, despite how simplistic his kit is, he has a lot of skill expression between Sin players. But I think like the only thing that you need to work on is just experience, because I think you just need to play a lot more people,
I
like a
should play
lot more
Tower
different.
more. I just don't like it.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Tower is not a very good system.
It's not. Also, I like to talk to people when I'm
Yeah,
fighting. When
yeah,
unless I'm locking in for a tournament, I want to talk. Like when I fight Anakin, and I'm like, hey, I'm I'm trying to figure stuff out. Like, okay, I mashed here, I got counter hit. Where's a better place for me to match out against Aji? And he's like, oh, well, if you do this, this, and this, like if I'm doing this, you probably want to try something like this.
oh yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. I don't like
I think
just
that's
fighting.
I think that's the best way to learn is if you can actually talk to your opponent and ask them questions about their character. I
Yeah,
mean
I
that's why
I
I
do that
love
with you a
making the
lot.
Sin.
Yeah, that's why I
That's
think
why I
you're
love
really good
making the
about
Sin
that.
videos.
Real quick before we leave, that's something I've been asking everybody. Is there any music that you actively listen to or anything that's got your attention recently?
Uh, Actively like the two bands. I watched the other episode with you and Anakin. Uh, that music choice in that one also great from both of you.
S tier, by the way.
Incredible music. Recently I've been listening to Asking Alexandria and Black Veil Brides.
Okay, I've listened to both of them. Good choices. I've I have gotten back into Sleep Token again. I got out for a few weeks to listen to some other stuff. I'm back into the swing of things. I'm listening to Take Me Back to Eden while I'm at work. I'm listening to Sundowning just when I'm just chilling. Listening
Yeah,
to This Place will be your tomb just in general. It's a
yeah, I
it's a
need to
problem.
listen to more Sleep Token. The for them their music's very hit or miss to me, but I love Rain.
Very good song.
Rain's a good one, and then I also really like Euclid.
Yep, very good. Also very good. I think you should listen to their. Some people say you should listen to their EPs and their solos before Sundowning, which is the first album. I think you're fine if you just listen to Sundowning all the way through, and then This Place Will Become Your Tomb all the way through. Then Take Me Back to Eden, the album hits a lot better. I also really like their music in general. Like Vor, the song Vor grew on me. It's very heavy in the beginning, but I really like it.
Was
I
it
like
Sundowning and
This Place Will Become Your Tomb. I think that's it. Might be This Place is will be your tomb. I don't.
close enough?
Yeah, This Place Will Become Your Tomb is the second one. All three albums awesome. I'm sure anybody who's listening to this podcast is like, please stop talking about Sleep Token. Talk about something else. I'm tasking you with listening to Sleep Token more and like listen to it too, because their lyrics are very good. There's lots of callbacks and stuff. I think you'll
I have noticed that a
I think
little bit from what I've listened.
you will 1,000% like Euclid more after listening to to the three albums.
That's what I've read about like the like comments on Euclid is that people really like it because they've listened to them for so long.
Yeah, definitely recommend doing that. But so, are you planning to? So this is gonna be the end of the podcast. I'm going to have links and stuff to the grid, hopefully, if I remember. And usually I have links to content, but you don't have a ton posted. Are you going to plan to be posting any content soon? because this will go
Um,
up not next week. I'm aiming for the 15th. So
I will hopefully have something done by the 15th because now that I've
recorded.
like finished I finished like the arc, the whole story of the video. I just need to edit the whole thing, and I'm learning Premiere like
Oh,
from
fun.
scratch with nothing. Uh, I am I have like 30 something matches to go through and to like pick and choose, and then I have to figure out how long I want the video to be. It baby's first content creation, pretty much.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you don't have it out by then, I'll just ask for your YouTube channel to make sure I have it, just so that it will be linked in the video, so people can go watch it when it does eventually go live, or be ready for it. So for anybody watching at home, you guys know what to do.
Maybe I'll pivot over and post the all random tournament we did and get that done before the 15th.
Yeah, that would be fun. So that means that video will go live. This will go live about 2 weeks after the Strive Season 4 starts. That'll be fun. I can't wait to see how our thoughts on Slayer and Abba and everybody have changed in those 2 weeks. I'm sure it will be a great time.
I can't imagine Abba will have changed very much.
I mean, it just really depends on what her non-jealous state is. But I want to thank you so much for coming on. I know that it was kind of out of the blue, and I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I,
no, it
I
was
appreciate it.
fun. I was pulling into to school when you texted me that, and all I could think of was, oh, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, because I knew you were starting to make some YouTube videos, and part of what I want to do with this is promote people's content, and so I figured that was a good way for you to start. I don't have like a huge audience; most of my audience is gonna know you, but it's still interesting and fun to do and pick your brain a little bit and just chat about like having fun and strive and all that good stuff. But for anybody watching at home, thank you so much for making it this far. I hope you have a great night, evening, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you're doing while we're listening. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next time.